Hi everybody. I just wanted to make a quick video for you guys showing you the system that I use for all grain brewing. I know some of you who brew beer but maybe haven't done all grain are interested to know how it's done, and maybe others of you are just thinking about it, maybe getting into beer brewing and wondering what all is involved. So I thought I'd do a quick video and show you the first step of my process for preparing the malt for mashing. So what I've got down here is a Corona mill for grinding the malt in order to mash it. So I'm going to go ahead and take this apart for you so you guys can kind of see it. So the Corona mill is fairly common among beer brewers. Some people use mills that are specific for crushing grain for brewing beer. But other people who just sort of like to fly by the seat of their pants tend to use the Corona mills. And what I've done here is I've mounted it inside a bucket, because when you run this thing, if you've ever run a mill before, the grain just flies everywhere. And so this is really nice. You can see there's a hole in the bottom, and there's just a 2x4 inside that the Corona mill is actually mounted to. And so we put the lid on this, and then this whole thing slides into another bucket to catch all the grain, okay? And it's really nice. Compared to what I used to do when I would just mount this thing to the side of the counter and just wrap foil around it and hope for the best, and grain would fly everywhere. But this is a really nice setup. So I won't go into the details on the Corona mill because there's a lot on the internet. So, and you'll notice here, so the Corona mill, it comes with a very small hopper, right? Because the thing's originally made to make flour or make cornmeal, right? And so it comes with a very small, about a 1 pound hopper, which probably works great for making cornmeal, but it's not very good when you have a 10, or in this case a 20-pound grain bill. It just, you're constantly scooping it in, and it's a real hassle. So, so one of the things you can do, and I just ran out this morning and picked this up at the local big box. It's just a piece of 5-inch diameter ductwork, right? And so this is actually pretty slick, because you can just put that right into the hopper, and now instead of putting in 1 pound, I mean, you can put in, well, a lot more. So it'd probably be handy to get yourself a funnel to put on top and pour the grain in. So okay, with that, I'm gonna get set up, and I'm actually gonna start crushing my grain. I'm gonna go ahead, and today I'm gonna run the mill with a low RPM drill, or a geared down drill. I'm hoping this one's going to work. It's just a cheap Black & Decker I picked up off of Amazon. Now the thing is, normally you would, see if I can find it, here it is. You would normally hand crank this thing, okay? It actually makes for a heck of a workout. You'd be, till you've actually cranked one for 10 minutes, you don't realize what a workout you actually get by running grain through this thing. I figure probably an 8 or 9 pound grain bill, which is more typical for a 5-gallon batch. I can do that by hand, right? I can tolerate that. But since we're making a Russian Imperial Stout, we've got nearly 20 pounds of malt here, and I would probably have to do it in shifts to get to 20 pounds of grain. So I'm going to go ahead today. I'm going to try to use this drill. I'm hoping this one's got enough torque, because, you know, like I say, I mean, it's a good workout, and it takes a lot of torque. So you can take a quick peek at this, and if we're doing this right, I can't quite reach all the way in, but I can grab some off of here. If we're doing this right, we actually want to see a little bit of flour and some husks, right? We kind of want the husks to stay as whole as we can, and so that makes me, so in order to help that, what I do is I condition the malt ahead of time, and I won't talk about that here, but I'll post a link for you guys. So we want to see a little bit of flour, and then we want to see the chunks of grain in here, and I might actually be grinding this just a hair too fine. So I may loosen up the mill just a little bit here, so let me do that. So everything went well. I went ahead and we got the whole 20 pounds of grain of malt crushed, and Corona Mill wins again. If anybody tells you can't do it with a Corona Mill, then don't believe them, because it works really good. And the drill here, this particular drill is from Black & Decker. I think this cost about $50 off of Amazon. It did pretty well, but I think this is about all this drill can do. It's about all that this drill can handle. It got pretty warm, and by the end, in order to save a little wear and tear on the drill, I was spinning it a little faster. I think it's a little harder on the motor trying to stay at low RPMs, and it stops, and then that's going to cause you a little trouble. So I got it spinning a little faster, and things still worked out okay. So.